defenders, I think, is like.
Are we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Same grind, different day. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. Fundamentally, Happy New Year once again to those of you who I haven't crossed paths with in this new year. I hope everyone's got their health and hope everyone's doing well mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, etc. You know, good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom, but good morning, good afternoon, good night. Also, good evening, depending on where else you guys are placed in this world. Appreciate you lot support. Now, again, what's the date today? Day 6 of January, and still no centre mids arrived. Was moving ever closer to outgoings at Arsenal. We're ever hopeful. It's exciting seeing, you know, Coutinho linked with Villa and all these other things, but it's nothing to do with Arsenal now. Again, allegedly, it's us versus Spurs for Tariq Lamptey. Neves, not really Neves rumors, just more so my personal opinion. Sadly, Aubameyang's tested positive for COVID allegedly, which again ain't that like the fourth time he's caught that, which is unfortunate for the guy, man, really. And it seems like it's all kicking off with Gabon. You know, yesterday it was, you know, they're not boarding flights. They might not board flights due to potential issues. Now you've got one of your main players, you know, with COVID, and for Aubameyang, it would have been nice for him to obviously go and play because it's not happening for him at club level. Sometimes playing for your national team and representing your country and being the captain could be something that gives you a source of pride and just provides an escape, really. Make sure we're hitting the like button, people. So it is where Aubameyang's concerned. If I make a timestamp, let's just get that one out of the early doors. 0-0. Man said 0-0. Where's the tweet? Sorry, folks. There it is. And let me just find the accompanying article as well. Like literally, this has just come out as well, folks. Slide that to here. And yeah, man, big up you lot for tuning in. But I've already started, so I might as well, before I greet you lot, moving like I ain't got no manners, just to update you. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang tests positive for COVID on arrival for AFCON, just days after Arsenal outcast is seen partying in Dubai in build up to Gabon's first game on Monday. Now, it's not necessarily just him, and we don't know how he's contracted it. But, you know, and I know this Mr. Pierre M. Edwards seems to insist he has an informed opinion. But, I mean, you know, you look a day ago, literally, Aubameyang was spotted. This was surfacing again. You can see Lemena there, vibes in. Aubameyang vibes in. So, yeah, is that it? This must be the alleged video. So, yeah, you lot have seen that there. But going back to this thing, hit the like button if you haven't. 100 likes target. 65 of you locked in already. Aubameyang has tested positive for coronavirus on Thursday. He's contracted the virus on arrival, so he probably got it there. He'll now miss after the opening AFCON game for Gabon against Comoros. So yeah, it's another one really, and then it kind of, if it is again, it puts into question his discipline really and truly. You know, again, you're kind of giving fuel to the thing. You're allowed to party if you want, especially if you've got time off and things. But again, you've got to look after yourself, and it's this level of trust which probably Aubameyang has lost in Arteta because of things like this. As it says here, his positive diagnosis clearly throws a spanner in the works for Gabon, who will now be without their striker and their star player. And I don't know if Lemena is also tested positive, really and truly. So yeah, it's fully another low point. It is, despite the fact that Aubameyang is nothing to do with Arsenal, there's still a bunch of other questions. And you know, the older he gets, the worse he seems to be behaving, really. So that's that with Aubameyang. Only has himself to blame if he did contract that in Dubai. Contracts COVID-19, and the only reason I didn't put that in the title because the videos get demonetized when you mention COVID and things like that. If I'm honest with you, man said, "Yo, my favorite YouTube channel. I appreciate that." Man said, "I smashed the dislike button so no one can dislike." All right. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Youssef. Big up yourself, Johnny. Rochelle said, Aubameyang can't catch a break. When it rains, it pours. It does. But at the same time, as I always say, when it rains, you have about 3 options. You read the weather forecast, which in Aubameyang's case might have been just not going to the party. You know, you bring a jacket, which I would say, or an umbrella, really, you know, which could be I don't know, you wear a mask, you get vaccinated. Not that I'm saying you need to, or you just don't go, really. So you had two options, or you just keep your ass indoors, which you could have done. What you cannot do, you're right, when it rains, it pours, but you can't stand in the rain and complain you're wet, really and truly. And if Aubameyang has contracted this due to obviously his antics in Dubai, then that's fully an example for me of standing in the rain and crying about being wet, which you're right. When it rains, it pours. Word to 50 Cent. Go listen to that after. Aubameyang seems fed up of football. He just wants to enjoy it now. Aubameyang tested positive for COVID on arrival. First game on Monday. Again, discipline. I don't know when he's alleged to have went to Dubai and then obviously tried to do this, but yeah, he's doing idiots things, man. Why did these man keep snitching on Aubameyang with these videos? It's true, but he's snitching on himself. I mean, do we really expect him and Lamena and all these guys to be in a popular spot, I assume, in Dubai, having the status they do, and no one's going to record? You know, whether that's the restaurant owner, because I mean, if I own the restaurant and footballers or rappers come in, I'm going to start recording so I can put it on my Insta or my website to attract more people. Because as silly as it is, if man hear certain people have gone somewhere, they're gonna go. It's silly, and it's just making Aubameyang look, you know, it's just making Arteta look even more right. You know, you can't defend the undefendable. That's long for Gabon, works for Ghana though. Hear it. Put me on 350k. I'm gonna act like I don't have no sense. Trust. Hey, I definitely wouldn't, you know, Dubai don't look that lit to me anyways. Big up yourself. Shout all the members, moderators, subscribers, and all of them sort of things. It is what it is. It's true. So yeah, he's only got him. Aubameyang, I can't defend him. I know even our the biggest Aubameyang defenders. I do think he's been dealt a harsh hand, but you're shagging yourself. Like, you're making Arteta look right. You rubbed yourself out. Like, you probably deserve all the critics because you're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself. And again, it's another one where you're captain and you've compromised your position as well. You know, I'm sure you could lead the team talk through Zoom and that, but you've compromised your position once again. Ridiculous. Right, you can upload footage on Spotify as well. And make sure you follow me on Spotify as well, people. I'm trying to take that a lot more seriously. But yeah, man, back to Aubameyang, bro. You just make yourself look like a dickhead, man. You just look like a dickhead, you know. And again, you know, there's been a lot of bullshit, you know, for him. You know, I'm not gonna lie, but with Gabon, and I think the only thing that's away from this now, one thing that shags African nations is corruption, man. There's corruption everywhere, but it's crabs in a bucket, you know. It's obviously that's the only thing holding back motherland nations. There's a lot of foolishness going on. Big up my guy Giles, as you look can see in his tweet here in a second. You know, in Aubameyang's defense, he's contracted malaria, had to sleep on the airport floor while on international duty. I bet he reckons the Gabon FA are trousering some nice money at the expense of the players and staff welfare. Gabon aren't the only ones who do this. He's had enough. It's got to stop. It's true. And apparently Aubameyang has had a major fallout with Gabon. He claims the facilities and food and injury recovery are not of required standard. He's held a team meeting and suggests the players boycott the tournament unless this changes immediately. Now, I don't think he's wrong with that because they're taking the piss. Hit the like button, but at the same time, it's Aubameyang seen as a militant and whatnot, man. And I mean, it like he said here, it doesn't make him any less right. FAs have a duty of care, but also like Darren said, you know, he shagged himself, you know, getting COVID over stupid shit, really, you know, for a bit of clunge and that. Like, I hope the nans was worth it. Bro. Forgive me for my language. I really hope it was. Big up my guy Giles, man. What else you got? Nothing else in relation to Aubameyang. So yeah, Aubameyang shagged himself, people. Like, he shagged himself. He shagged himself, really and truly. Really, like Batman's got to face the music. Really, like you can't, as I said, you can't defend the undefendable. That's that with him, man. Even Chunks turned on Aubameyang. It's rough out here. But hey, I mean, all the industry, footballers, pundits, none of them are loyal, man. Everyone loves you when you're doing the business. That's what Aubameyang needs to take, man. It's the same. It's the same thing Zaha said about Ivory Coast. He said the conditions weren't great, and if they were to represent the country properly, they need better standards. That's the only thing holding the motherland nations back. People doing fuckery. I get Aubameyang's point about wanting better from the Gabon. It's like that for most African football, and I speak from experience. Exactly, man. You need a lot more. Need a lot more, man. But that's that with Aubameyang. Let's get into some transfer news. As you know, people, every day this is a bit of a slow day. It appears that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is moving that much closer to completing his move over in Italy on loan. As you know, David Ornstein's given us the latest, but if you look at the tweet from AFC stuff, it summarizes everything that he said. You know, in terms of the work permit, all these things are done. It's just, you know, the I's have been dotted, T's have been crossed. Ainsley Maitland-Niles will fly out. Well, he said it would fly out yesterday, really, but it's changed to today, so he should be there. Ainsley Maitland-Niles will fly to Italy today to complete his loan move to AS Roma after a medical work permit, personal terms, and final details were all sorted on Wednesday. Roma plan to try to sign Maitland-Niles permanently in the summer. That's one thing I like about Arsenal. It's like, okay, cool. If Ainsley bads it up, you think you're going to get him for the cheap, let's sit there and renegotiate, or he goes off to a Premier League team. Where Arsenal are in problems is we have to let him go in the summer because he's contracted until 2023. Personally, I don't want another replay of Eddie Nketiah, Lacazette to a degree, and things like that. You know, Ainsley, there's a player in Ainsley, but is he going to realize his potential here? Is he what we need right now in our midfield beyond being a squad player? Probably not, which is cool. Keep moving on, man. You know, let's keep it moving, really and truly, where that's concerned. I mean, apparently Manchester United are determined to sign Ruben Neves this month, and he's someone that we've spoken about for a while. He has a desire to play Champions League football, which alerts other teams, but probably means United and Arsenal is neck and neck as to whether you can get these players. Now, United over us, they've obviously got the Portuguese influence. You know, George Mendes has one foot in the Wolves' door, has another one at United with Ronaldo, so that probably means this is obsolete. But if he really is available for 35 to 50 million, I don't know if Arsenal are going to be able to find 50 million on a centre mid who needs to be a priority, really, a centre mid after spending 150 in the summer. You know, I don't know, maybe, you know, some outgoings first, but 35 million, I don't think Wolves let him go mid-season, but 35 million, 24 years of age, Ruben Neves be right up our street, really. I think him and Partey, him and Xhaka together could be, him and Partey together instead of Xhaka could be good, and it should be something to explore. I don't think we're getting him, but it is what it is, people. Apparently, United could make an offer of around 35 million to Lord Neves, who, again, George Mendes is his agent. Apparently, Wolves are only believed to be listening to offers upwards of 40 million. So, again, 40 to 50, that could get done. And I think that's a fair price for Ruben Neves. His manager said, it's not about contract or money. It's about creating a big team that fights for different things. I mean, we're not the strongest, but could you say, I think Liverpool should be looking at him as well. Could you sell them a dream? You know, could you sell him a dream? Arteta, could you sell him a dream that he could be a leader in terms of the new school? It's not about contract or money. It's about creating a big team that fights for different things. Ruben is in that place where he needs a different challenge. We also want a different challenge for the club. We want to push our younger guys like Ruben to the next level. And as you lot can see, you know, this is his stats, really. You know, created 14 chances, 1,000 passes. He's got a lovely shot on him as well when he wants to. It is what it is. And as you lot know, he signed 2017. They stand to make some big P's. In December, he said the future will be seen soon. I like to live in the present and I'm happy. I feel great in Wolverhampton. I'll focus here because if I do the right things, I'm sure the future will be bright. And that tells you there'll be other interests and all of these sort of things. So I'd be open to him moving away from all of that, people. Apparently, Tottenham ready to fight Arsenal for 50 million Brighton ace Lamptey. Now, I think if you know, Spurs, clearly you all saw the game yesterday in it, you know, Emerson Royal is committing great acts of fraud. Doherty, whether he's on the left or the right, is not levels. Spurs need a right back more than us. We need someone who can be a backup / fight Tomiyasu, which I'm all for. Lamptey's got different strengths. Tomiyasu's better defensively. Lamptey's better going forward. They can push each other. Obviously, if Tomiyasu gets injured, suspended, or whatever, he's irrelevant. I like Lamptey. I think he can grow with the team. He's of the right age and all of these things, but I don't see us spending 50 million on him in January where our other priorities are clearly in the middle of the park and up front. Right back is an area on the face of it where I want Tariq to come to the team, but it's quite stopped. You know, Ainsley's going. You've got Cedric and Chambers. I don't agree with it. You've got the ability to play Ben White there. I think we have priorities in other areas of the squad, but allegedly, Antonio Conte wants to spend big this January to improve his Tottenham squad. Big up Lamptey, he's moving closer to to Middlesbrough. Roma, Newcastle, Everton apparently have joined Arsenal in the fight for Bruno Guimaraes, by the way. Allegedly, Arsenal have been linked with Lamptey, who joined Albion for a bargain 3 million. We tried to buy him when he was there. Spurs are set to lose Doherty, who Wolves are keen on taking back this month. Conte is looking at Lamptey as a potential replacement, although the Italian may have to wait until the summer. And this is all assuming that Brighton want to get rid. Brighton will want around 50 million for Lamptey, whose value has skyrocketed since his move to the South Coast. He's provided 1 assist from 12 games in the Premier League so far, and he's recovering from injury. So, yeah, man, I can't say I can see that happening, but I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't, if we could get a deal that rises to 50 million, then why not? I don't think Lamptey's done much to warrant 50 million already. And for Arsenal, I'd rather see us splash that 50 million on a Ruben Neves or a midfielder, or 50 million for a striker, unless you've done the scouting business sort of thing, isn't going to go far. But I'd rather that, really. I don't think he'd be a backup. I think he'd fight. Morning, why doesn't anyone think Tomiyasu can go forward? He's been great going forward and defending. Lamptey is a myth, and him and Aaron's are too small. I don't think that height's got anything to do with it personally. Tomiyasu, I think we can all recognize he's never going to be a Japanese Dani Alves, but he can go forward. But we'll be kidding ourselves if we're saying we couldn't find someone with different strengths. For me, if you could get someone that could do the Lamptey thing and push Tomiyasu, why not, man? Ideally, you want 2 30 players in every position. Obviously, Tavares is a level below Tini, as much as you lot tried to lie about it. You saw what that done for Tini. Now Tini's got his shirt back. He's performing in every game, not that he wasn't already. Bro's 5'4". He's not going to be a solid right back, and we don't play with wing backs. If Tomiyasu gets injured, we're finished with Lamptey. Bit harsh, but yeah, man, realistically, if you can play as a wing back, you can play as a fullback. There's not too much different. There's just an emphasis on going forward a bit. Neves joining new lot, so he's probably going to be shit then and fraud up the place. Sorry, folks, brain fart. But yeah, keep your opinions coming. Reckon we'll get Wijnaldum on loan in Jan. We've always sorted loans. You reckon? If we listen to Fabrizio Romano, where is it? He said that's a myth. He said Wijnaldum's focused on PSG, so things can change very quickly in life. But yeah, it don't look like he'll be returning, man. 35 to 50 mil for Neves, I think. I'd take Lamptey, but the rates need to be lower. Trust substantially lower. Substantially. Large up yourself, my guy. Appreciate your support. Big up you lot. Heard that Lamptey is only going for 50 million on a Ben White thing. I mean, it's a big premium, really. I'd rather us do the scouting thing, man. 5'5". Bloody hell, I thought I was short. Boy, can you lot reach the top shelf? Being 5'8", 5'9", I've never been happier. Big portion of football is about mentality. Just look at Nelson and Saka. One applied himself and is reaping the rewards. The other is on loan. Trust Edu and Arteta to find gems with the right attitude. I think it's a bit harsh. I don't think Reece Nelson has a bad attitude. It just hasn't kicked on, really. Bit harsh on Nelson. Our midfield is not looking good at all for next month with AFCON going. Max Aaron's, I don't rate at Max Aaron's. I'll take him, but they're going to ask for a similar fee. If we had to splash, I'd rather Lamptey. I don't see what the hype is about Max Aaron. He's not a bad player, but it's always like when Arsenal were linked with right backs and other teams, it's always Max Aaron's. And I don't see the levels that what is Max Aaron's good at? Like, is he good going forward? Is he good 1v1? Does he tuck in? Does he screen well? Is he a good crosser? Is he obviously he's not Trent Alexander-Arnold, but trying to find an example for you lot. What is Max Aaron's good at? Apart from being a Love Island you at this moment in time. If Norwich go down and they're saying, 15, 25, 30 million in all variables and that for Max Aaron's, I might entertain it. But what's he good at? Seriously, no disrespect to Max Aaron's. Away from the hype and screaming Max Aaron's. What is Max Aaron's good at? I'm genuinely trying to know, what is he good at? What is his standout attributes? Tomiyasu, you can see he's good defense. He's more of an old school right back. 1v1 headers. Obviously, he goes forward. He's not, I wouldn't say that's a strength of his. Lamptey, you could probably say he's good going forward. Trent, clearly his strengths are better going forward. Not that we're getting Trent or Lamptey, for example. Who other fullbacks are there? Max Aaron's, what are you good at? You know, I do think you could get a tune out of Max Aarons, but again, what are you good at? Why are we going to sign, man? We don't know they're good at. Like, we're just screaming, sign him. Do I think Max Aarons can grow with the side? Do I think he's of the right profile, homegrown? Yeah, but it's like we can't just be screaming. It's dead, man. He looks like a nice. He does look like a nice lad, but what's he good at, man? He drives well with the ball. Again, I don't see that as evident. And in the modern day, a fullback should be able to carry the ball. The bar's on the floor if we're looking at that. Fucking Aurier can carry a ball. You know, Cedric can carry a ball. He's just shit. Pardon my French. The problem with getting Lamptey for 50 mils, the fact that other areas need addressing, whereas at City they don't have that. Why? That's why they could splash 100 M's on Grealish for rotation. Reece James. I mean, Reece James is a good defender. Like, we can't get Reece James, so I'm not sure of the relevance of mentioning him. I agree with Shush. We need to spend 50 million on a midfield. If we could do it for less, why not? But midfield, up front, that's what I'm trying to hear. Obviously, if there's exceptions to the rules, if there's super players that Arsene Wenger used to say that are available and you can do things like that, then I'm all for it, of course. We're only at 65 likes to the 200 odd of you locked in. Unexpected high bills due for anyone who is not supporting the team. So, yeah, man, it's a brazy one. Fair fault for AUBAMEYANG once again. I'd rather that 50 million go towards Bruno Guimaraes. And to be honest, it seems like Brighton just sit there and go 50 million for everyone. I'd rather spend that 50 million on Basuma. Where again, I don't think they're letting him go mid-season. Like, this is the thing with these guys. No one wants to let them go mid-season. Everybody's fighting for their own thing and doing their own thing in the season, really. So it's a bit of a brazy one. January's difficult to do business. Basuma and Lamptey, that's 100 million loss. Like, based on that, like, I think they, in the summer, I think Basuma can go for less. I think he could go for a similar fee to what they've said about Neves, 35 to 50, because Basuma is of the same contract as Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Reality is, if Brighton don't sell him, he walks for free. Now they might say Basuma is more useful for another year, and then they'll let him leave on the free with their blessings. But they probably have a decision to make. But that's 100 million down the drain, really, on both players. It's not that I'm not on Basuma. It's not that I'm not on Lamptey. Is that a right way of spending 100 mil, or do we think we should need a bit more bang for our buck? Would we be entirely happy with that? I'm not sure, man. Cedric is a good backup right back. We don't need to waste money in that position. No, he's not. No, he's not. If we can get it for like a Tavares thing, or if there's quality, bring it. No, he's not. And we're finally patterning our team. We have the chance to really fix up all areas. Cedric is bloody not good. I'm sorry. He showed it in the cup. He shows it every time. Don't get fooled by the fact he wants to go forward and put balls into the box. It's a myth. He's shit. You know, he's one of these experienced players at Arsenal that look like a clown, man. Aarons was linked with Bayern, Barca, and Atletico agent chat. Maybe he was, he was. So is Sergio Dest these times. Livamento's allowed to come to the club. 100% Livamento. But again, that's ching. That's probably more than Lamptey. But that's the thing. Bayern Munich would have given him the juice. He can do a job as a squad player. Come on, Mo. I don't know which one you're referring to. No need for a good right back. Cedric is a good backup. He's a backup. Like, if that makes sense. Quality over quantity. When you look at all the right backs on paper, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Cedric, Chambers, God forbid if something happens to Tomiyasu and they say, again, touch wood, pause, you're out for the rest of the season. Are there any of these guys still good backups? Is there any Cedric, Chambers, Maitland-Niles, respectfully, are these players that, with us being fourth right now, fighting to win the FA Cup because we're still in it, still in the semi-finals, and however many Premier League games to come, are you putting all your eggs on that? Do you believe in that? In any one of those options to be the guy? If you think that's a good right back, fair play. I'm just asking the right questions, man. Brighton doing pretty good right now. They're not going to want to lose more players. They're not too desperate for money either. Money talks, man. Money makes everyone horny, but you're right, man. What's a realistic Jan window for Arsenal signings and sales? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Ambiguous term, centre mid. Just all I want is one centre mid. That's all I wanted last summer. That's all I wanted the summer before that, specifically a number 8. That's all I want. Anything on beyond that's a bonus. It does feel like we need to sort out a couple of loans. You know, Balogun going on loan to Middlesbrough. You know, they're paying us a wage, paying all his 40k a week wages. Agent played a blinder there. 40k for a lot, really just potential is a madness. Ainsley Maitland-Niles going to Roma. There might be a couple of other things, and then we might see a push. I hope Arteta's got an ace up his sleeve. I hope there's a midfielder there. You know, I hope Edu is getting his Brazilian on and speaking to Bruno Guimaraes and trying to convince his countrymen to come to the club. You know, but I don't know, man. I mean, I would be open to Douglas Luiz. I wouldn't mind Watkins, but I'd rather, if we're gonna go for these sort of man, you might as well just wait till the summer and try to do something dirty, man. I've always liked Bissouma and Lamptey, but right now I think we should get Arthur or Guimaraes and a striker. I mean, in theory, Arthur's probably easier to get because 1 foot out the door with Juventus and things like that. You know, Lyon are a selling club, but we all know that president will sell on his terms, and it can be quite a long, dragged out process, really. Would you raid Villa for John McGinn and Watkins for 60 mil? It's not the worst. Just bring me John McGinn. Alexander the Great Isaac. He can improve his output, but he's got everything. I like him. But again, fans, unless we sign, this is why I think you need to sign. If you're going to sign one of these marquee strikers that might be a bit young, like Jonathan David and Isaac, I think you need to do the scouting thing and find someone that can kind of impact the team right now. Because I think Isaac will struggle in his first 6 months, maybe. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he scores goals, but he's still developing. He will struggle. And that's one thing I like with Smith Rowe and these lot scoring goals. But is that sustainable? Arsenal fans lull for players that don't play for Brighton, challenging possible. S, what are you saying? That don't make no sense, man. Oh, man, I'm gassing meaty guys, bro. Cedric is not a good... I'm not trying to get him. I love my club. I'm not trying... Listen, if Cedric plays for Arsenal Football Club, I'll support him. But be real with yourself. You shit, like... We need depth. He's not levels. Of course, in theory, he should be able to get away with it. If anything, I'm screaming Ben White right back or Chambers to get... Really, I'm only really got confidence in the Ben White thing. Chambers does his thing and whatnot, but for every good game, there's a game where he looks like a centre-back playing at right back. Ainsley... We've been down this road, and that's irrelevant. Cedric, it is what it is. I don't know where Ramsey's going. For quite frankly, I don't even care, man. No decent right back will accept sitting on the bench. Competition's key. No one wants to sit on the bench anyways. Can't believe we've loaned out Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Where is the backup now in midfield? When you find out, let me know, man. Again, and what have you said? For at least the rest of the season, Ben White can play right back if Tommy's injured. Yeah, but then what happens at centre back? You're now relying on Holding. Would you take James Madders? Yeah. Now let's not scapegoat Cedric. I'm allowed my opinion. You know, if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. But I don't have faith in you. Beyond the fact that I would support you anytime you play for Arsenal, I don't have faith in you. You know, and I just feel as an Arsenal fan, speaking for myself, I'm starting to get faith in, man. I like what Ramsdale's doing. I have faith in you. Tomiyasu's consistent. I have faith. Tierney. I'm liking what Ben White, you know, is bringing to the table. Still got Buki moments. Gave away a silly pen against Leeds or something like that, or Norwich, one of them. And that's been coming. Gabriel's a madman and he shows his madmanness, but I've got confidence in him, you know, and the young players, it goes without saying. So I would like to say that I run all my squad, whether they're first teamers or squad players. I can't say that about Cedric and a few others, respectfully. I don't think you lot, even in a squad depth, can take us to the next level. I'm not saying everyone has to be a star and world-class. We ain't got world-class players within our team, but yeah. You got an 8 in the summer in Martin. I mean... I hear it, but bring me a next one. Bring me a next one. Hopefully, man. Edu, please, man. Edu, please make something happen. Mazuri, yeah, but it seems like Mino Rinola's trying to get paid with one of his clients. I don't even mind him being basic because many elements of Tomiyasu's game is basic. You know, Tomiyasu's an old school sort of fullback, and I like that. You know, people will see that basic in these words and start crying. I like Tomiyasu because he's competent, consistent, and he's competent, consistent, and the rest of it, people, you know, and competent. He's competent in his right back role. Can you be a right back? We've signed right backs that can't defend. Consistent. Doesn't matter if you can do it against Spurs if you fuck up the next week, for example, you know. And confident. Tomiyasu looks confident in his abilities because he clearly listens and wants to improve and things. I don't mind if anyone. Arsenal have won the league with players that are basic. United the same. He's just got to have confidence. And again, I'm not saying anything about Tomiyasu. I'm just saying you don't necessarily have to be a star, man. It's just I don't have confidence in Cedric to do the basics. You look as nervous as the young players 9 times out of 10. It's a myth, man. Bro, I can't lie, Isaac. Based on the Euros, the bars on the floor, man. I've never seen somebody take a shot that's deflecting off target and go in against Spain and all the gas. Don't get twisted. He's doing well at Sociedad, but yeah, man. Saliba, but you're not tearing up Saliba's loan over there at Marseille. Bro, Saliba's loan is not getting torn up. It's holding, etc. Man said Pablo Marie. I forgot he was here. Pablo Marie and Chambers would most likely go, and you need a striking DM for the next half of the season. Centre mid, number 8. I don't think we need another defensive mid. I think with El Nene to come back, I think with Lokonga, I think with Partey, we've got 6s galore, man. Bring me a number 8. You know, just because you're a number 6 doesn't mean you can't contribute. Just because you're a number 8 doesn't mean you can't defend. You know, there's a lot of versions of defending. Pablo Marie, again, who wants these guys? But keep them moving. Were you saying DG, Bruno Guimaraes or Aouar? Which one better suits our system if you had to choose? It's probably Bruno Guimaraes. But if it came to it, I've been gassing up Aouar for seasons, innit? It would only be right that we get it done. And some of you have been doing the same. It'd only be right that it got done. Hit the like button, people. 98 likes. You lot are a tough crowd today, man. Tough crowd. To be honest, Cedric has done well in all our cup games. What? The FA Cup last season? Fair enough. You can do it against Wimbledon and all of these sort of things. And in fact, even that, if we go and look at one of the goals we conceded against Sunderland, well, Cedric is out of position. If you're doing that against Sunderland, I can't have faith in you to do it. Man said he don't even use Cedric in FIFA 2022. There has to be a level of honesty when we're talking about transfer. Cedric ain't it, fam. People just see it as hating, man. We need stylish youth to get Arteta on the phone and make him bring in DJ as a backup right back. I don't think the world's ready to handle me and Tavares in a cup game. There's going to be no defending. Why do you think Southampton wasn't going to renew his contract? Chambers is better than Cedric at right back, which says something. I was watching a live show last night and a guy said Rice's levels above Bissouma, made me shut off the whole thing. I mean, I don't know what I'm going for them, man. 6 weeks training, trust. No Cali as well. We might get there. Anyways, enough for Cedric. I mean, I can't see any Bissouma rumours. Them ones seem to have gone. Ramsey in the 8, no thanks. What do you think about Schick? He's on a purple patch. Ironically, apparently he's going to Fiorentina. He goes to Fiorentina, Vlahovic. Edu had a howler bringing in Cedric and Marie and almost brought in Emerson until Arteta intervened and Neto. And this is the thing, when you buy shit, man, it's hard to get rid of them, especially when you, like in Cedric's case, at the time, you've given him a 4-year deal. Lord knows what Marie's on. Now, I think Marie wants to go and go and play football. But if he was looking at a cynical one, what incentive do you have to leave Arsenal? Even if you're AUBAMEYANG, yeah, we know first team football managers rubbed you out and things like that. But we got to remember it's a job. Arsenal need to move these players on more than they need to be moved on. We've got to remember that. What are your thoughts on Terrell as a player? I thought he was a good player. Felt like he simply just didn't enjoy living in England. I got great sympathy for obviously his mother dying and stuff, but way before he had the family issues, he seemed like he just didn't settle in London and just behaving like a pussycat on the pitch, on song. I love Terrell, and it's still baffling how it started and it's ended. You know, he went from doing his thing to becoming a 10 and whatnot. Is where it is, just soft, man. Are we linked with Frankie de Jong? Psh, boy. Boy, Babaka Kamara seems like he's on United's case. Exactly, he's going Florentina, so maybe, just maybe, that means Vlahovic could be on the move. Maybe, just maybe, people. I wouldn't count my chickens before they hatch, but again, just maybe. One second, people. Sorry, YouTube just fucking with me. Apologies. Delete that. Thank you. Thank you. There we have it. Thank you. We're back again, folks. Appreciate everyone who's hit the like button. 118 likes, 300 of you locked in. Unexpected high bills due for those not supporting the thing. If we get a centre, mid, and striker this January, would you begin to have faith in the project? I've got more faith in the project, really and truly. You know, I've got faith in the project, but what is faith at the end of the day, bro? Like I said, I've got no loyalties. I see the project, I see the building blocks, I see what man are trying to do, but I haven't seen enough to blindly defend it. Like if I was a Liverpool fan with Klopp, or City with Pep, or us at a time with Wenger, United at a time with Ferguson, I see it, but I need to see everything come into plan. And what I need to see is it developing. I need to know it's not just about improving the bad players or the meaty ones or the young ones. It's about improving the good ones. How do you take Saka to the next level? Initially, I'm seeing that with Arteta. Goals and assists, Smith Rowe, all of these things. DG, would you take Rice in the summer, 70 million? Well, they're saying 100, but yeah. Marie wasn't the worst of signings at the time. He was doing the job for a couple of months, then drop off. Disagree. He showed his levels from the start. He showed he was a stopgap signing. I mean, again, another one where, again, people got onto me. I think I've never seen somebody with such a small case study playing against shit teams, right, really, get so much propaganda, you know. People were saying he's the best centre-half at the club. I told you, lot, he's suspect. He didn't want to listen, you know. Tavares is suspect in different aspects, but I actually like Tavares. It's like a couple Arsenal, Arsenal fans claim they don't like mediocrity, but the standards are on the floor. 2 games, man, are making mad statements about Marie, mad statements about Tavares. 2 good games from El Nene last season. People are dropping their pants for a new deal. You know, respectfully, Lacazette, at the first half of last season, Arsenal fans were calling him like a threat. Now they want a new deal for a man that's got 3 goals. Respectfully, I'm not saying you shouldn't give Lacazette a new deal. I'm just playing devil's advocate with you guys. You can't cry for strong standards and then these sort of things. I can't lie, Marie. I told man, Marie, shit, like you get what you pay for. You get a shit stopgap, man, and then you have to buy twice. You bought Ben White and you bought Tomiyasu. You don't need to go and do these positions again. Who doesn't like a bargain? You know, Everton, not so much now, but Damari Gray for £1 million is doing all right. But more time, you get what you pay for. And like you've seen with Willian, with Marie, with Cedric, with Kolasinac, with many of them, you make it harder for yourselves. You know? Because these players are shit. Like, it's all fun and games saying, sell this guy, sell that guy, do this, do that. Bro, people have to want them, you know? Who wants to buy a broken mirror? Who would buy a chocolate teapot? Come on now, you'd have to be really, really silly, man. And I mean, even that, whatever you say about Pablo Marie, looking at it here, 22 appearances for what? 10 to 14 million quid. How much does that cost per game when you factor in the wages? And this is what I mean. It's not just the big money signings, the 35, 40 on Xhaka, who polarizes opinion. 52 on Laka, who, as good as he is, hasn't quite done the business. 72 on Pepe, you know. It's the Williams, it's the Kolasinacs, it's the Maries, it's the Cedrics, it's the contractual renewals. It's every basic process at this club. So fair enough, man. I get it. At the time, we needed depth. We needed a left-sided centre-half. He ticked them boxes. But you get what you pay for. And you saw it against Brentford. You saw it against Chelsea. Marie's one of them. He makes other players play shit, like you saw with Saka and Tierney in the build-up to the goal Chelsea scored with Lukaku. Come on now, man. What are we on? Let's stop rewriting history. I respect everyone's opinion, but we're chatting shit now, man. We're rewriting history. Like, Marie's a nice guy and all of that, but come on now, man. Come on, man. Even when we played Chelsea, when we beat them 3-1, he gave away the penalty. You know, we're lucky Jorginho was playing for us that day and missed. Bro, Marie suspect, man. People are gassing it after Brighton and West Brom last season. Gassing it. I'm sorry. Allow it, man. Allow it. I'm so sorry. I can't condone that one. I'm sorry, man. If Marie played tomorrow, I'll support him. I'd back him all the way. But you can't. I'm not saying they can't be squad players, but as long as you've got Cedric, Marie, these sort of man, you can't Kolasinac, you can't kick on. You can't. It's a myth. If Bruno Guimaraes doesn't pull through, I feel Ronaldo will be the best option on loan. From what Fabrizio Romano says, it's a myth. Guendouzi's gone, man. Respectfully, Arsenal fans need to kiss that one goodbye, man. You never know. Our paths might cross again one time, but fans need to kiss that one goodbye. It's gone. The man's a more or less a Marseille player. I think Marie could do a job, just not for us, man. Like, he's not the best of ball players. I think he's a good reader of the game, but his lack of pace and his fragility in terms of his physicality makes it a problem. And I really was done with Marie because I hate seeing pussy old things, pardon my language. I remember specifically my analysis of that goal where Chelsea scored. Lukaku wanted to score more than Marie wanted to keep a clean sheet. I want my defenders that would put their face on the line. He gets one little touch in his face. He's going, oh, Lukaku's racing through on goal. Allow it, man. Chambers ain't, Ben White ain't doing that. Gabriel ain't doing that. Tierney ain't doing that. Tomiyasu ain't doing that. Ramsdale will probably headbutt a man before that happens. So this is what I need to see. People making me sick, and I can't lie. A bit of why I'm getting at Marie is because I'm the head honcho of the Gabriel fan club. And I remember fans were saying Gabriel's not 30. Bro, I remember all the blasphemy, man. Bro, Marie's good, but again, I've got no agendas. I just care about Arsenal Football Club. I would love for Marie to wake up tomorrow and become a prime Cannavaro, left-sided centre-half, 28 years of age. In theory, I think he has what I would like for Arsenal to go and grab. You know, why you've got a Saliba next season by God's grace, Ben White, Gabriel. Sometimes you just need an experienced man, just like with the striking thing. I'm all for bringing in Isaac and, doing what we're doing with Martinelli and all these things. But sometimes you just need experience. United ain't the best examples this season, but more so last. Greenwood done his thing, but there was times he needed to come out of the team. You needed a Cavani with his back to goal and things like that. I don't think we're signing a striker in January either, man. But if a midfielder don't come in, I'll be very disappointed, man. Man said, my ears hurt hearing them names. Aye, Arteta's been nominated for Manager of the Month. I hear Martinelli and Odegaard have been nominated. So you know what we need to do, people. We need to hit up the votings. We need to get our proxies going. We need to be voting for both players. We need to be putting multiple votes. We need to be ensuring these men do the business. I can't lie, I'm scared of the Manager of the Month because remember what happened with Nuno. Remember what happened when Arteta won it last time, the bumps and bruises that came. Hopefully, that isn't the case again. Marie, Cedric, and Kolasinac still getting paid by Arsenal hurts me. Hey, man. You won't be. Newcastle, if you're looking, come and buy that, man. Buy Tanganga from us. Who's that? Is that Spurs youngster? The one that doesn't know where, a defender that was putting them, trying to concede goals in that. I don't know who Tanganga is. I always hear names like Tanganga and Dane Scarlett and Bando K and all of these guys. I don't know these Spurs youngsters. Ryan Sessegnon. Who are these guys? I don't know what's going on at Hotspur way. These are not 30 youngsters. Them man are shit, blood. No, I'm gassing. I like Tanganga, man. I'm just doing him dirty. He plays for the Spuds. DG was done with Marie at that point. Gabriel FC, stand up. Bro, who wants to buy? Bro, big man thing. Who's going to buy a broken mirror? And if you do, you're a donut. Upwards of 50 mil for Lamptey just seems too much of a backup. Would love him at Arsenal, though. Now, to play devil's advocate, yeah, big up Tomiyasu. But how can we assume he's going to be backup? How do we know he couldn't take Tomiyasu's line space? How do we know Arteta might just say, you know what? Maybe Sky Cavar was right, You might not be a right back or a centre-half. You're both. So, can't play centre-half for me. Just devil's advocate there. Arsenal scored 16 goals in the last 5 games. Laka started and scored only 1 penalty. We've had 3 and missed 2. Shows you his selfish link-up play, allows the 3 behind him to bag goals. His levels, I wouldn't say his levels. He's a good player. He's good for the squad. He shows where you need the other aspects of the game. And I feel even when people weren't loving Laka and they were calling him Laka threat, they were the things that Lacazette was being underappreciated on. That's why I keep saying you need 2 strikers, you know, in the Ivan Toney mode, because he's quite similar to Lacazette. I don't think we're grabbing Ivan Toney, but there's that. But there's no way around it. There's plenty in the modern day. You need to be able to do that anyways, the link up play, you know. And we overcompensate on that because Laka's not bringing the goals really and truly. And yeah, he's fitted in well. But what happens when we're not scoring? Like against Everton, where it's not working, really? You know, we've done a madness. Can it continue? The most Laka's bagged is 15 goals. We need someone that can get upwards of that. As much as I have admiration for what Lacazette brings to the squad, ideally, he's a squad player, nothing more, really. As much as I love the guy, it's not levels, is it? You know? If we're signing someone for 52 million and we're overcompensating on pressing, on link-up play, on being good with the young players, tells you everything, man. 2 truths can live in the same realm, by the way. I always thought Marie was better than Gabriel Chat was BS. It was BS, man. Fans just live a madness. Marie was balling for Flamengo. Boy, shit. That's good for Flamengo. Take him back. Like, we're going to Arsenal shirt. You as meaty, man. Wouldn't say our academy is stinky. Where's the Spurs, bro? I don't know them, man. There, I don't know them youngsters, man. 359 views, rise the likes. Big up everyone who's here. What you know, offering their talking points and the rest of it with me. You lot make this platform for what it is, as I always say. Tanganga used to play for the same team as me, people. You know, Tanganga was originally supposed to register in the Arsenal's academy. Then a Spurs poacher spoke to his parents outside the Emirates. He told the story. Well, saved us a few buck in it, really. You know, what's his best performances? Fighting Zaha and all them things there. Back free tax couldn't save them, man. There, I like Tanganga, but obviously you play for the Yids, innit? Bro, Sky Carval can never get the last laugh. You know, Tomiyasu can play as a right back and a centre half. And I feel guys like Tomiyasu, I'm all on playing in multiple roles because you can see he's a right back able to play centre half or centre half able to play. It's when typically at Arsenal or other teams, when you've got wingers who are not really wingers or strikers, centre mids are 8s or 10s, defenders who are half and half. This is when the problem happens. Tomiyasu understands his role, so then you can adapt and chop and change. Ben White, the same, you know, he's able to play in both. The problem is when we try and mix and match with others, it's dead, man. We're seeing the scaffolding. I'm seeing scaffolding. I'm seeing materials being delivered now. I just need to see, you know, advertisements saying I can get a house here, house share and skyrise and all them things and all them fucking shegs that the government does in this country. We're not far from clearing the deadwood in our rotten culture. By God's grace, we're close, man. Hopefully by the summer. I mean, clubs are always going to have deadwood in it. But hopefully by the summer, a lot of these guys that we're waffling about now and have been waffling about will cease to exist from an Arsenal perspective. And like I said, I wish them all the best. I've got no malice. I'm loyal to my club. I don't care about even the players that are doing well. You know, keep doing well. All I care about is Arsenal Football Club and the best for them, which I don't think I'm sure some of these guys are nice guys. You know, they're cool around the squad. It is what it is. But man need to be good footballers first. Everything else is second. I don't care if a guy's not good enough, but he's good for the young players. That's dead. Everyone should be good for the young players. The young players should be setting it for themselves. Good footballers first, all the other BS second. I don't care about knowing the club, about being a good example, about all this tosh that myself included. When we like a player, we start overcompensating and moving mad. Before the injury, he was shit as well, Marie. Do you think Laka will sign a pre-agreement this Jan? Boy, it's up to him, really. It's up to him. If I was him, he's in good form. Probably keep running down your deal. Other prospective interest parties, man. Appreciate North Carolina. I haven't seen Carolina too many times. Big up yourself. Do you think Pepe needs to go? I mean, if the situation continues where you're not playing, then yeah, you got to sort out your situation. You seen what Chris Wheatley tweeted? No, I haven't. Is it a number 8? Hey, what you lot doing, man? My neighbors are moving, man. They fucking again. Bit brazy if that is it. You lot are banging off the wall, man. Allow it, man. I'm here with my friends. I don't want to get gas. What? Yeah, this is what I want to see. Yeah. All I want to say, hey, allow it, man. Please, allow me, please. The banging thing, allow me. Thank you. Arsenal deal for, oh, sorry, you lot can't even see, man. That's moving mad. It's putting me off. Allow me, man. The walls are hollow. I know a lot of you follow me on Instagram. Remember when these lot were beating and then you could hear that, oh. I feel it in my brain. Anyways, Arsenal deal for Brazilian midfielder can be finalized by key transfer figure involved in talks. Now, Edu, you wanted Bruno Guimaraes, get it done. Once again, you hear Everton, Newcastle are rivaling us. This could be done for as cheap as 35 million. In an ideal world, if you could get Neves and Bruno for about 70, 80 million, I think that would be a good look in midfield with me. Partey would have some options. Arteta. Do you know what it is? I think we only want one midfielder. As long as Xhaka's at this club, respectfully, nothing to do with Xhaka. There's only one place available in midfield. That's why Lokonga, Ainsley, all these guys are going to find problems. The Brazilian midfield is being considered by several Premier League sides for a potential January transfer window. Edu surely is back from Brazil. Now let's get it done. 24 years of age, for obvious reasons. He ties into what we want to do. He's here for the longevity reasons. He's approaching his peak. He has scope to grow with Martinelli and the rest of them and become full international Donnies. It is what it is. We've been linked with him in the past, as you lot know. Ainsley's on the verge of keeping it moving to Roma. 2 midfielders in Partey and El Nene. We wish them all the best for AFCON, but for a couple of weeks, they're irrelevant. Hit the like button, people, and make sure you're here. Well, you're on my Twitch at 4:30. We're playing FM. It leaves Mikel Arteta short of options in midfield, with Xhaka and Lokonga the most likely midfield pairing for the coming games. Arsenal approached my agent, but there was no offer. My aim, and I made it clear to Juninho, is to win a title with Lyon, he previously said. The fans have not had one for such a long time. We have the Coupe de France, the Europa League, and the league. It's difficult with the level that PSG are at, but anything can happen. Football.London understands that any deal involving Guimaraes in a Premier League side is likely to see Kaya Jarupkin involved. Boy, he's getting paid this Jan, because it seems like Villa are signing Coutinho on loan. You know, I'm sure, is he Pablo Mari's agent? I'm sure there must be a couple, you know. Kaya Jarupkin, let's bring in the right guys, man. Don't bring the shit guys. We've got money now. Let's bring in some decent guys. As we know, Jarupkin was involved in deals to bring Louise, Marie, Cedric, and Willian. Again, shit dons. Shout out Louise, because you was a better signing than I thought. But if there's a reality for Arsenal Football Club where I'm looking at mentality to be shown at the time from David Luiz and Xhaka, and we would last season, let's cut the crap, we're a better team with them involved. I think if them two are involved against Villarreal, we have half a chance. But respectfully to them, that tells you all the problems. If these are the guys you have to rely on, respectfully to Xhaka, I don't think he's as bad as people make out. But if we're relying on him to progress our midfield, if we're relying on these ticking time bombs, that tells you everything. Bruno Guimaraes, it's difficult to adapt in January. You saw how fans were harsh on Odegaard last Jan, and now they're all sucking him off, pardon my French. Really, bring him to the club, man. Bare middlemen here. Giuliano Bertolucci, forgive me for mispronunciations, one of Brazil's influential Brazilian agents, works closely alongside Jarupkin, and he would also help bring Guimaraes to England, with Everton monitoring the midfielder's progress. This is bare agents are getting peace. Feels like bare people are eating off this, but if it means he comes to the club, why not? Lyon allegedly want 38 million. It's a steal, man. Come on now. Should we see his previous comments, what he said? Open that link in a new tab, my guy. This is, when was the date of this? This was on the 30th. This was the 30th of August. Last January. I mean, last August. Last transfer window. Arsenal approached my agent, but there was no offer. One thing I'll give Arsenal, was there enough? When there's encouragement to do a deal, they will try and do it. So they approached his agent. Was it agent's fees? Was it commissions? Was it Lyon's president? What made it? Was it him? He said he wants to win a title. It didn't go far. Arsenal approached my agent, but there was no offer. My aim, and I made it clear to Juninho, is to win a title with Lyon. The fans have not had one for a long time. We have the Coupe de France, the Europa League, and the league. It is difficult to win with the level that PSG are at, but anything can happen. And with the way Poch is moving, anyone can win that league. My aim is to win a title here, but I never have hidden my desire to play in the Premier League. Get that done, man. Get that done. Arteta, go and tap him up. Edu, go and get that done. These man do the Arsene Wenger thing. Start speaking to man in Portuguese. They get gassed. That's one thing I liked about Arsene Wenger. He knew how to gas players. He knew how to get things done. Let's get that done, man. get it done. I'm not saying he's the answer to all our problems. I do think Arsenal fans do this. They've done it with Maddison. They've done it with Buendia, Szoboszlai, Odegaard, Partey. Whether it's a centre mid, a striker, or whatever, we just see them as the messiah. They're going to solve all our problems. They're going to turn water to wine. It doesn't work like that. Bruno Guimaraes can only enhance our midfield if Mikel Arteta continues to do what he's doing and get the best out of him. And at 24 years of age, I want to know how Arteta can obviously take him to being one of the best, to being a shoo-in in the Brazil squad, because we know Bruno Guimaraes. Many people might be like, who's that? Take man to the next level. And if a man wants to play in the Prem, he must have, obviously it's a culture shock when you get here, but he must have a rough idea of how physical, fast-paced, all of that tosh it must be, really. So it is what it is where Bruno Guimaraes is concerned, people. Let's close that. We spoke about Lamptey. What one's this one there? We spoke about AUBAMEYANG. We spoke about Giles. Obviously, Vlahovic. The latest on Vlahovic. So it seems Arsenal have the strongest interest in Dusan Vlahovic. Florentino will too. I think it means Florentino will accept 70 million euros and Torreira. But the problem is the player and agent asks the other club interested is debt-laden Barcelona. Barcelona's sporting director has spoken to Florentino, so we're out of it then. Really? That's a myth. I don't know if they're going to commit to that in Jan, but boy, apparently Dusan Vlahovic's dream is to play in La Liga or to continue in Italy. So that means Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Inter Milan, these sort of historical big clubs can't say no. If they're not involved, apparently he will consider one of the options in the Premier League, and Chelsea have thrown their hat in the ring allegedly as well, people. So make of that what you will. I don't know who Ted Jacob is, but he works for CBS. Apparently he can confirm an Arsenal offer for Dusan Vlahovic of close to 45 M's plus Torreira. The Florentina striker, as we know, yada, 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 has scored 33 goals in 2021. Apparently Vlahovic is happy to bide his time and Florentina content to assess other options. Well, there's no rush to sell him. They're going to sell him in Jan. They're still competing to qualify for Europe. Adding Torreira on a permanent helps the deal a little, but Florentino will wait for other suitors with Vlahovic not yet sold on Arsenal. Chelsea have entered the race, but Barcelona's interest doesn't appear too serious. One thing is for sure, Vlahovic's agent is busy speaking to a lot of clubs. His contract expires in 2023, so a January window will command the biggest fee, hence a busy agent and links with almost every top club. So that's that where Vlahovic is concerned, folks. Let's start closing tabs because this is hurting my brain looking at all of that. So yeah, make of that what you will, man. Oh, no one carries Deadwood like my club. We've still got Danny Drinkwater. No way is Danny Drinkwater still getting paid by Chelsea. I respect it. If he's still getting paid, I respect it. It gets to the point you have to respect people, man. Like Danny Drinkwater, never, man. You can never still be contracted until to Chelsea. He's still part of the loan army. Bloody hell, he's at Reddit. I have to respect it at this point. I have to, man. Man City now have COVID-19 crisis. Guardiola set to miss their next game. That's a shame. You said it there, man. Big up, DG, my guy. Disagree on Marie. You can't blame him for others' performances. He didn't have the luxury of playing with Ramsdale, TT, and Partey this season. I still just think he's shit. I mean, I didn't blame him on other performances. I blamed him dropping it off a level. As you saw against Chelsea, people are overcompensating. Tierney's not sure whether to tuck in because of my man's lack of pace. Saka the same. Like, that's fine. Marie shit off his own back. You know, I could say Leno was unlucky of being dropped at the time, which I feel he was when we shipped 5 goals against City. You know, Leno never had the luxury of a solid back 5 in front of him, but he's still not levels. You know, Marie's not the hill to die on, my guy. He's not the hill to die on. Respectfully. Fucking hell, man. Marie, you know. They're moving brazy, man. You know, birds and the bees, it makes sense, man. We need Guimaraes. But I want the Brazilian revolution, man. Win the title with Leon, that's a myth. You're harsh, man. If he thinks Leon's going to beat PSG's moving, I like the mentality because there's a million reasons for them not to. He believes such. Don't we need that at Arsenal? We ain't done nothing yet. We've been okay for a couple of months. We're not the biggest and baddest in the league. As good as we were against City, we still have a shit record against the top teams. We still ain't done it. I like that mentality because he's of this. There's a million reasons for why we can't do it, but I'm focused on the one. I like that. I want that at Arsenal to go with the change in mentality that some players have brought in. I want that. Come clock in 100%. You lot are not rating him as well. You lot are just shutting Bruno Guimaraes' dream down, innit? Bare tabs, broski. Bare tabs. I told you, man, I trapped to make sure I'm coming with the main things for you lot, man. Unpopular opinion, but I would take Neves. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion in the Arsenal fan base. Guimaraes fits the profile of what Arsenal are doing. 24, no-brainer, add him to the squad. And for me, 35 million now. Probably going to be a lot more than that in terms of variables and things. Everybody sees English clubs as Zangs, but yeah. Allow me with the tabs, man. How many tabs have I got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm closing this up. 13. Oh, shit, I should have closed that. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hey, the tab police, you've got me, man. I'm gone. But I just closed the tab where it was highlighting other teams' interest in Bruno Guimaraes. Still, bring him. But yeah, here it is. Well, tab police. Here it is again, though. Anyways, folks. Arsenal joined by Newcastle and Everton in Bruno Guimaraes' interest. Now, there's a reason to sign for all of them, bro. Like Arsenal, obviously, we got the most prestige out of these three names. Edu and that, you know, to be fair, you said we tried to contact your agent. That shows an interest in you. Newcastle, they might not be in the league, but they're trying to build something that, you know, wanting to be part of that. Let's not lie. Wages. Everton, Rafa Benitez factor, even though they're extremely rubby at this moment in time, you know, 40 million to snap him up and he's drawn interest from other people. I don't know, you know, some people might have scouted him more than others. Arsenal could be heavily onto him, Everton not so much. So I don't know. It could be people just trying to drive up interest, but they stand to make a decent fee on a profit on the fee of 17 million that they spent 2 years ago on him, really. So yeah, we should have got him then. Didn't think he tried to get him then. Didn't Edu at a point try offer Guendouzi and money for Bruno Guimaraes. So I hope that one day can get done, but whether it does is another thing. Partey with Bruno in midfield, Odegaard or Smith Rowe in behind, a new striker with Gabby and Saka on the wings. We're going to cook trust and then many options to flirt between. Vlahovic's agent was twerking for us. Conte needs to steal the Baldy's wallet. I mean, that means, you know, Vlahovic's mentality must be shit if he wants to sign for the Spuds, blood. I had to. You can't run down gal that ain't answering your FaceTime calls. Exactly. I think Vlahovic is on signing for us, but we're just not a man's first choice, bro. Man will go Real Madrid, Barca, this team, that team. And then when there's like 20 teams gone, he might listen. Maurice slow. He doesn't look like he believes in himself. He brings the level down of the players next to him. You know, he doesn't. I used to think one good thing about him was the way he organizes and the way he talks. I've realized that's a fraud thing. He's more convinced with his hair, not the centre half we need. Like I said, we need centre halves like Ben White, Gabriel, these guys that want to bleed to keep a clean sheet. Not guys Lukaku is just brushing against and the play still going on. People are holding their faces. We don't need them pussy out antics. Arsenal are not going to go forward with people like that. Allow it, man. Trust, he's not trying to hear this at all, man. He's not trying to hear this. And that's one thing. People are not convinced with Vlahovic's expected goals. You can't run away with that. It's changed. But again, you know, as much as I like it, it's been a couple for Arsenal. As much as I love what I'm seeing, it's been a couple of months. And for me, it's easy to be confident when I'm not saying I want things to go wrong, but it's easy to be confident when the fans are all on the same page. We're happy to be fourth. We're seeing building blocks from Mikel Arteta. You know, things are going well in all aspects. When we're losing, it's not that it's not that deep, but we're losing in the way Arsenal fans with a bit of heart and fight and things like that. It's easy for us to all be on the same page. When things go wrong, like it has, only a couple of players have stood up to be counted. That's what I need to see. Because there's fans, listen, fans will turn on you. There's going to be a time where, and there's been times this season where fans can't believe in you because you lot can't believe in yourselves. And with this new attempted installation of mentality, I hope it stays. But there's going to be many bumps and bruises, twists and turns. It's not going to be fantasy. We think we're staying in this fourth spot from now to the end of the season. It's going to fluctuate. We're going to drop more points. We're going to pick up more points. It is what it is, you know. Couple of injuries away from a crisis in midfield as well. 209 likes, people. I'm appreciative for those of you who have. To the odd 200 you haven't, unexpected high bills due. Hit the like button if you want Arsenal to sign a midfielder, if you don't want unexpected high bills, or if you support other clubs and you want to do the business. I see a couple Spurs fans. Hit the like button if you want Spurs to win a major title. Again, I can't actually promise that one, but yeah, man, support the thing as usual. Appreciate you lot. You man are on me. Trust. Man said, man's got more tabs than Arsenal transfer rumors. Today, yeah. Bro, what? Leave me alone, bro. You man, leave me alone. Guys and girls, leave me alone. What? I can have as many tabs as I want. I'm a busy guy. The wickedest figures I've got, well, you lot don't know, but we've got, you see when I change the screen and you see Google Chrome, I've got that there, and obviously I've got it open in front of me with StreamYard and that. To be fair, on this tab, I've only got 3, 6, 9, 10. Come on, there's nothing wrong with 10. I want the young before Gimaraj. Same. I want a Lamborghini as well, but I have Lamborghini money, dog. So myth, DG with a fresh trim. Nah. It's expired still. Soon land again. I'm starting to hate Newcastle already. Bit harsh. How do you do, DG? Smile, please. I hope you're doing well and safe like everybody in the chat, man. But we are doing better than Newcastle and Everton. Man said, I can hear your neighbors, bro. She is screaming yes to Bruno signing. Would be a great move for us. Will allow Partey to break up play and drive rather than sit. Yeah, man, I do think we'd see a better Partey if he wasn't expected to build versus, go win the ball back higher up the field and things like that. You're right, man. I'm trying to see Aouar come as well. Need to bring the cultured football back to the Emirates. True. Chelsea really in for Vlahovic. That's what he said, bro. That's funny. Seems, despite the apology, they saw him miss 2 cities yesterday and decided, no, allow it. We got the wrong striker after all. Yeah, man. Marie's had decent games if you can find them. But I think he's shit. Van der Beek, I mean, I'd be open to exploring it, but I mean, that's 2 managers now that have rubbed you out. Like, well, Ralph Rangnick might give you a chance. You got to remember, United's season ain't in the best of ways, so he probably has to find something that works right now. But yeah, man, it looks like a couple people are not fancying you, man. Vlahovic really thinks he's the second coming of Haaland. Fair enough. To be fair, Jaden, what has Vlahovic said? Like, he hasn't said anything. He's just been kicking ball. I would prefer Isaac over Vlahovic. The kid is a baller and could go levels. I'd be cool with either one, man. You man said you man mean Nigel de Jong. Yeah, Frankie de Jong be beaky, man. I mean, I'd be open to Watkins, but it's quite the drop-off from Vlahovic at this moment in time. Why do man want a striker that can create his own chance when we have Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli that can improve their game having a poacher? Because we need strikers that can make their own brilliance. That's one thing we couldn't say with Aubameyang or Lacazette. You need that. You need the full package, man, really. Because what happens when these players that are there to provide the food, some of you can't cook. That's why some of you are nice to your wives and that, because your belly's getting hungry. Some of you can't even chef up a sandwich. But especially to my Caribbean folk out there, you can cook by yourself. I don't need no girl. Man can put on a rice and some chicken and pattern off my thing. We need a striker that can do that. Like, fair enough, stand in the kitchen and let people cook for you. But I'm sorry, we need that. I hear you, but we need a striker, ideally. We're not going to get the full package, general play, link-up play, all everything. But we need to aspire for that. We need strikers that can create their own things. We knew when Laka came here, he wasn't going to create too many goals because you look at his heat map, the way he scored. You knew that wasn't Aubameyang either. So respectfully, I disagree, man. We can have all of those players. But what if they're not in good form? We need people that can make things happen, man. Fans will forget this, but fans don't. This is why fans live in dream world. We're the worst team ever when things are going right. We're the best team in the world right now. There's no balance. Just for me, only thing that matters in May, man. I'm not on the shit stuff, and he looks like he's going to what I mean, Florentino. Facts. There are no roses without their thorns. We'll win some, we'll lose some, but we're heading in the right direction. Morelos, the Rangers, Donny. He's all right. Trust, you can see the pen as well. Don't know what it is, but I can't get behind Vlahovic. Not sure he'd be a good fit in the system. Sounds like our owners are putting their hands deep in their pockets, or is this a typical Arsenal move, being linked with a class player, then ending up with a 30-plus-year-old on 200k? Arteta, don't let me down and bring in no dodgy free transfers, but I'd like to think Arteta and Edu have learned their lessons from penny pinching and trying to find quick fixes. And I remember Mertesacker basically said it, really. So, yeah, what I like is, let's just say Ramsdale went wrong. Tomiyasu goes wrong. Let's just say all of these players we brought in don't bang. We can make our 30 million back on Ramsdale. We can make our 16 million back on Tomiyasu. We can get 6 to 8 million back on Tavares. The only one we're like, is Ben White, because that cost 50 million. Now, I'm not saying I want people to fall off. It's just that's completely different to when you're bringing in a 30 on Willian on a big deal, when you're bringing in Cedric, when you're bringing in Marie, when you're giving Kolasinac 100 bags. I'm doing him dirty, but when you're in hindsight, you're giving AUBAMEYANG that and you're turning around and you want him to leave. You always have to think of a get out plan. Big up yourself, P. I hope you're doing good. Would you take Werner? No. Right. I want good things at my club. We've already got frustrating players. Why am I going to bring any? It's got to be Isaac for me, Henry-esque. Out of all the strikers, which one do you think has the highest ceiling? Who, man? There's Bear. We need a centre mid before Tottenham. I don't know if we're going to get that. Big up, Sam. First time I've been on your channel, mate. You're the first man that's spoken the truth. Good on you, Sam. I can't claim to be the only one that spoke the truth, but I appreciate you. Hopefully, it's not your last time, my guy. If I had £1 for every you're not so deluded, or you actually are deluded, but I'll buy the striker for us myself, man. We'll be getting Vlahovic and a couple others, really. It wouldn't just be an AUBAMEYANG replacement, to be fair. Would you take Martial? I would take Martial, but at the end of the day, he's not really the best fit. I'm only saying that because I like him. He's going to probably want to play off the left. I'm quite happy with our wide options off the left right now, especially with Martinelli's re-emergence. He can play through the middle and whatnot, but he still needs to be learnt there, man. Vlahovic, Calvert-Lewin, or Isaac? Yes, and yes. Difficult question, Mohammed. It all depends, man. I think they've all... I want to say all three of them as first choices for many different reasons. I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, English, all that stuff. Vlahovic, I think there's something there. I'm a big fan of Isaac. So I think I want to say them all number one. Who would probably tie into... I think Isaac would probably complement our system the most. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin, from what I've seen of all of them he's the only one playing in the Prem, would probably get a bit more of... We probably know what we're getting a bit more with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but are we going to give him the sort of goals and the sort of service he wants? Have we given Lacazette and specifically AUBAMEYANG, whose game's reliant on pace, the service he wants? Completely different player, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But there's that. Zapata's decent, but his age probably goes against him. And who else did you say? Sorry, man, I've lost your thing. Vlahovic. I'd probably say Vlahovic / Isaac first. I'd be happy with either one, man. The Congo and Partey never played together. It would be interesting. Don't think that's true, my dude. Well, some of you are onto him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin ain't on ish, living on his 3-month goal scoring patch. You think Isaac's finishing is good enough for the Premier? But I said first 6 months, I think he'll struggle. And then I think we'll get up. I think if we bring in Isaac, you have to give him scope to develop, and fans are not going to be at that. Fans were waffling about playing Balogun. The minute Balogun had a shaky game, they're onto him. Before that, certain fans were saying with AUBAMEYANG, he should be given a run to the end of the season. Fans are not on that. Zapata's a granddad. Bit harsh. He's 29, maybe 30. And to be fair, he's a bully. He's got link-up play. The Atalanta, he's 30. The Atalanta system isn't the worst. It's quite similar. It plays attractive football. I mean, probably have to stay clear of him. But if there was a deal to be done for a decent sort of age rate, a decent sort of fee and wages and a fee, I wouldn't be against it. I never saw Isaac's finish yesterday still. Guimaraes or Bruno, Guimaraes or Renato Sanchez. Bruno Guimaraes by a landslide, really. I think that's what we need. I'm taking Renato Sanchez. But as I've said, on popular opinion, I don't think he necessarily fits the blueprint. Jonathan David would be a good signing. Very good signing, really and truly. We can see the building blocks / general Arsenal opinions. Sorry, folks, just making a timestamp for you lot. Again, you will not find another YouTuber who cares about you lot's replay value as much as me. And I'm very wary. Some of you lot drop in late. So when it's done, you know, you lot can find your timestamps and all of those things. In fact, let me copy and paste the timestamps I have so far, because I know a lot of you probably just tuned in. Aren't I such a good guy? Even though they tried to cancel me yesterday for a misunderstanding. Fuck, you know. Exactly, Warren, and this is it, fan. You know, will they want to sell these players? So you know, you have to probably pay a bit more and whatnot. I know he hasn't been fine, but honestly, I'll go for Tony. I'm not paying 50 million for Ivan Tony. I'm sorry, you know. If we could get a deal done or find someone in the Tony mode, fair play. But and if Tony gets 20 league goals, then I'm all for that. But I'm sorry, you know, as much as I admire Ivan Tony, he basically plays as a number 9 with his back to goal. He drops deep like Lacazette. He pulls out to the flanks. He's got good attitude. He's a confident penalty taker. Can't be spending 50 million on that. Like, you know, hold up play and stuff. I could say that about Chris Wood. Like, I like Ivan Tony, but for the fees they're asking, that's a myth, and you're not going to get him from Brentford in Jan. I mean, I'm on bringing Isaac because I'm sure we've all been watching the videos of him and Odegaard linking up. Bring him in, but I just think first 6 months, you'd have to give him a bit of time. I'm not really on Gabriel Barbosa, to be fair. I mean, I don't want to give someone a new deal just for work rate. Work rate's the minimum. Like, look at City. City have fantastic players, but they run like they have something to prove. They're one of the best teams off the ball. I don't want to sign someone for work rate. I'm sorry. Like, especially with Arteta changing the mentality. You know, I'm on giving Lacazette a new deal if we could find a 1 year decent wages, stuff that he probably wouldn't agree to, because I think his strengths over a 38 game calendar and all comps can help you. But for work rate, really. And to be fair, it's not just about the Lacazette now. It's about how do you think Lacazette's going to be in a year or 2 years now? It seemed like, okay, cool. We've been here with AUBAMEYANG. Decisions to make. And as much as I rate Lacazette, we've been here before with people's contracts running down, playing well and stuff. I'm not saying Lacazette is going to rest on his laurels and things like that. But yeah, man. I swear that's the guy that plays for Reims. The light-skinned Hugo. Decent, man. Seems like there's a lot of refinement to do in his game. But yeah, man. What comment? I didn't see any comment. Joe Jackson, Deluded, haven't seen you on here in a while, fam. Big up all the way from Colorado. Shout out to you, man. Happy to have you back. Come on, man. 300 likes ASAP, please. I'm seeing 400 plus viewers. Big up to you lot who've hit that like button, man. Bruno Guimaraes and Vlahovic added to the squad, and we would help our push for top 4. But yeah, it's a fantasy. You know, I've got faith in my man coming to the club in Bruno Guimaraes. Vlahovic is a different entity. Kiddo Taylor Hart's a good player. It looks like he's going on loan in Gen. I'm not Arteta in or out. I'm Arsenal, mate. Like, there was times where it looks like, you know, earlier on in the season, it looked like he needed to go. Right now, he looks like the man. All that matters is me. I like the building blocks. I'm seeing scaffolding, but it needs to continue. I'm not Arteta in or out, bro. Like, I do think there's too much of a force to put people in that. I'm not saying you, but as I say every day, too many people are loyal to agendas. Seeing Arteta, just everything he does is success. Everything he does is failure. How long may it continue, you know, in terms of what Arsenal are doing right now? But I haven't seen enough to just ultimately just blindly get behind it. I like what we're doing. I've got admiration. I'm actually happy to watch Arsenal play this season, but long way to go before I wholeheartedly agree sort of thing with what's going on and believe ultimately. For a midfielder is a bigger, I think you mean for me, a midfielder is a bigger priority than striker. I think it's of the same standard, but I hear you. I don't think we're committing to that in Jan. First and last name, big up DG. I just subscribed to your channel. With the fees we're hearing about, appreciate you for doing that, by the way. With the fees we're hearing about strikers, Arteta may not buy a recognised 9. The 2 teams doing well at the top are not using one, but they've got Mo Salah, who can play up front and might as well be a striker. It'd be a lot different if they never had him and they're relying on Firmino, you know. City can afford to do that because of who they have. And 9 times out of 10, it works for them. But as you saw in the champs last season, they needed a striker in that final. If they had a striker, I think they scored. I think they win. So they can have that luxury. We haven't got that luxury. I like Smith Rowe bringing goals to his game. Martinelli, Saka, they're doing well. Hopefully they can get 10 and 10 in the league and beyond that. But they're still developing. They're going to go through dry patches. So it's probably a fantasy. Like I said, we've got to be wary of just assuming everything now is the thing. There was times this season, Aubameyang and Lacazette slotted in together. Times where other people have been out of the team. We've got to be wary of living, not saying you, but very wary of living week in, week out. For the 55th time, I don't really want Schick. Yeah, I wouldn't say Isaac was class at the Euros. He was good, and he does his thing in La Liga. You're right. Coutinho to Arsenal, Spurs, Villa. I mean, as much as I like Coutinho, I don't see where he fits in because we've got options off the left. Again, injuries happen. There's a problem. He can play in midfield in a deeper role. He can play in the 10, but I'd rather just buy a more organic number 8. I feel Isaac can become better than Vlahovic. Maybe. No one knows, man. We'll see in a couple of years. Arsenal would be very stupid not to sign a striker in this position we find ourselves in. We're going to be in big trouble if we don't make a move. Big trouble. It's a brazy one, really. Sorry, people. I got a match this week. Yes! Been missing football, mate. I'm back. I need to get the fitness on the floor. Got to put the Cali down. Start running up and down. Vlahovic is built different for his age. Under Teta and the players around him, things could get scary. I hope so. Pardon me. I still think Bruno might be a summer move. Still, money talks, though. That's it. Money talks. Bullshit walks, man. Put the money on the table, man. Edu, like I said, Edu needs to go chat to him in Portuguese. Gas him up. Gas him the fuck up. Start gassing him in Portuguese, showing him the historical ties. Say, yo, you've been in France. Arsenal is the team in France. We was it. Come and look at what you could do. Gas him up, man. Make him feel important. Get Wenger to call him. Henry to chat to him. Gilberto Silva to chat to him. Do what you can, man. Just gas him to high heavens. Gas him. DG, what do you look for when you look at youngsters? I've been watching you for time, and I feel you are very talented. It's not just London ballers. It's all over. I rate you highly, man. That's moving, man. That's actually moving. I wish I could cry, man. These things there, it moves me, bro. It moves me. Difficult. I would say it's the mentality. Now, obviously, everyone looks for the simple things, first touch. Can they do skills? If they're a midfielder, how do they pass the ball? What's the long and short range passing? The obvious in relation to whatever position in it. Defender, do you track your runners? But for me, it's about mentality. I don't like to, I just find it very difficult. I don't like when people tell me about a player's strengths. Tell me about their weaknesses. Tell me about how I need to see a player at their worst. What they like away from home. What are they like when they make a mistake? If they try a mad pass and it works 9 times, the 10th time they try it, it's intercepted and it goes in the back of the net. Are they going to do it again? How do they react to that? How do they react to setbacks? For me, I try to look at the mentality first things first, and then everything else ties in. But beyond that, I don't think there's any way of looking at it. Even from doing my talent ID level 2 course, there's certain things like confirmation bias, that might be, I don't know, like, how can I explain it to you? Like, I've got a bias for fast footballers. Because of that bias, I could see someone that might not be quick, but might equally be good. But confirmation bias, oh, he's fast, I like him. There might be someone sat next to me, and I go, he's good, isn't he? Yeah, and someone says he's quick. I'm looking for people to agree with, man. So I would say things like that. Are you on with Ransom Matisse? Yeah, we should be on, but I'm here with you lot, and I'm going to get something to eat very quickly. I cannot lie, man. I'm no good to anyone if I'm dead. Do you rate Savberg from Bologna? He's decent still. Do you think Patino will be an important player in the future? I hope so. Echo chamber business, like you said. Would a player like Martinelli, who was shipped out to all clubs to buy and no one wanted, but now he proves himself to them, it just shows how funny football is. football's a funny old game of opinions. You've all seen him training at Barca. You've all seen him in the picture with Paul Pogba. There's been probably many times Arsenal fucked up with that. You know, it was work permit problems, but we had Valverde at London Coley, the one at Real Madrid. And how many others have we been? I'm sure you've all seen. These are different reasons, but we've all seen Ronaldo, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Yaya Toure, all in Arsenal shirts. It's funny how things work out, man. Eddie Nketiah got released by Chelsea, and I'm not going to say they were wrong because it's Chelsea, but he's come to Arsenal, become a Premier League footballer, and should be sold on. That's a success in its own way. That's how football is. One man's trash is the next man's treasure. Unpopular opinion, but Chelsea and Jose did believe in Salah. It just didn't work out. To the common football fans, they sat there and said, this man isn't levels. Liverpool took a chance. In fact, Michael Edwards, because it might have banged, but Brandt was wanted by Klopp initially. Now, look, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Andy Cole was released by Arsenal at one point. Look where he's now. We need players that are direct, like Sacra Martinelli. We need a striker that is direct and just loves to score. We need to sign a player that wants to be here and can see a future at the club. I'm tired of signing guys that want to be here for the money. I mean, the money's a bonus as much as unpopular opinion, just from my little inroads in football. There's a lot of footballers that don't really care about the clubs, but you never know because there's integrity and they've got a job to do. I love Dembele, but it's a myth, man. Let's just let Miguel Aziz develop. He's a completely different player to El Nene, so I would say no. He could probably get a role in the squad. When it comes to transfers, I trust Mikel more than Edu. Apparently, during the window, Edu wanted Neto and Emerson. And they could have banged for Arsenal, to be fair to Edu. And Edu got the signings done, but that was in the Athletic. Arteta vetoed them things there. I'm not feeling the DG Nation love. Let's get to 400 before the end of the vid, bro. DG Nations, they're sleeping, man. They're moving like mooks. Some midfielders like Neves and Gamaras is what we need. What do you think of Martinelli and Odegaard nominated Premier League Player of the Month, DG? Fantastic. Good look, man. Happy for Odegaard in particular. I think he should win it. I've done a video. I'm sure I did a video where I said he's the Player of the Month in the league, let alone for Arsenal. Shout out to Martinelli and Saka. But yeah, man, I think he deserves that. The game at City, dwelling on the past here, we were the greatest team in Europe for 60. Bro, it was a movie, Sam. We was the best team for 45 minutes. I was sat there, like, I can get used to this shit. Like, shit, maybe Arteta really is changing the world. Like, well, I'm even mad. I was ready to start looking at the league table and saying, well, Wenger used to say, until it's mathematically impossible, we can fight. Who knows? But then reality came, man. Jacques is a true professional, but boy. I mean, Kaya Jarupkin represents good players. And what I want to see by Arsenal is we're actually going and trying to get the good players, We weren't in a position to ask him for the Coutinhos when we wanted him and that. That's why we're getting Williams and these duds. Asking for his good players, don't bring through his duds. No dead things to the race, man. Bring through the lovely Brownings and the Lighties and the Snow Bunnies and all these things. Don't bring the dead ones, man. Again, don't cancel me. I'm sure I'm not someone's cup of tea. I can't imagine it because I'm so sexy, but... You get it? Like, big up DG. Edu or Arteta, I trust neither. Who wanted William? They both did, but I've got more trust for Arteta than Edu because the jury's still out for me. I don't really see Edu's emphasis on what he's doing it. I look at Spurs. Spurs ain't brought no one in really, but you could see that Patrici, brother, they're bringing in guys from Italy, or if they're not Italian nationals, they, if you watch Serie A, you can see why. Like, God forbid, they almost got Tomiyasu. Imagine, we would have had to be shameless. Yeah, Tomiyasu's not good. We would have had to be shameless. Would you sign De Jong and Guimaraes? If I could, then I would. Ideal backup, right back me, bro. Shout out all the Kenyans locked in. Would you be on getting both Neves and Bruno? Yeah, but fantasy world, why not? I think with every midfielder fit at this club, we've needed midfield. I wanted 2 centre mids anyway. So yeah, man, I'm imagine having Ruben Neves, obviously Bruno Guimaraes, Ruben Neves, Lokonga, Partey. Obviously Xhaka's still cool in there. You got Patino can develop. Odegaard can still play as an 8. Beyond that, I think you need 2 midfielders anyways. They know Emerson's dead, bro. You're nearly as handsome as Marie. To be fair, pause. He's a handsome fellow, I'm sure he could bag a what's that advert that Henderson and the shampoo things. I'm sure he could do the shampoo thing and be a good guy for that. But for this thing, it's a myth. It's an absolute myth of the myth. Now I think Xhaka's a true professional. I've never had to doubt his integrity. I've never had to doubt if Arsenal means much to him. I have. Obviously, he's a madman on the pitch. He swore at fans, but I've never had to doubt that Xhaka cares. That's for me a good professional. Bro, Marie can do the head and shoulders thing. Elite. You know, if Marie had a bit more clout, we could use him as a model for us. Him and Odegaard, them and the London Fashion Week, holler Hector Bellerin, we could get some things going. But, you know, man, I have to be good footballers first, man. It's crazy, man. I want Livramento as well. Hey. I like everyone. Don't try and you get it. You try to do me like Mo Gilligan, man. You get me, man. With the Brownies and that first initially, but man, like everyone in it. Allow me. I don't need to be on no shade borough and them things. What's the latest story? I missed some crazy uni rap, bro. Good thing is, in a second, there's gonna be timestamps, my guy. There it is for you. Who's your favorite player for Arsenal right now? That's kind of easy, really. There's favorites. If it came to it, Saka and Smith Rowe. If it came to it. But love them all, man. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Tierney, Gabriel, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Charlie Patton, or Murray Hutch, everyone from Hayland, under 23s. That doesn't need to be said, innit? I like Lokonga, I like Partey. There's not too many players I'm not fond of at this club still. You'd have to put a gun to my head and I'd probably say Saka / Smith Rowe, but all of them, man. Big up DG, grab some food, bro. I appreciate that, Jay. Hey, might be a delivery routing with that tenor, you know. Hey, that covers the delivery fees and whatnot. I appreciate that. Are you streaming with rants? I will be in a sec, man. I've just texted 5 minutes. Soon land, man. I'm doing my stream first and that. You know, you gotta work hard on your thing before other people's. Big up Rants and Matisse. I'll be there in a sec. Fair enough, it's Xhaka's decision making that bugs me. Yeah, the decision making is terrible. Like, but yeah, man. Ramsdale worried about his penalty saves. I don't know why I hear that, but there's a lot of more pressing priorities at this club, man. Like, are we scoring enough penalties that we're winning? You have two lives at the same time, bro. They don't call me N'Golo Kante for no reason, my guy. Who knows? I might have a twin. To be fair, what video is that? Oh, it's the Mikel Arteta one. Yeah, I hear that. But to be fair, I'm happy with Ben White. Ben White could do the advert thing as well. The only one that couldn't is Gabriel, because he's always losing his teeth and that, and that's my sort of sent off. Why is Switzerland Xhaka different gravy for Arsenal? Maybe the system. I don't know, man. I maybe have to ask Granite himself. DG looks so happy naming bare of these players. Been a while since you've been happy with the squad. Trust me. I big up Marie for that. Then I like Marie then, man. Where are your streams with Rants and Matisse? I've never seen them, bro. You need to go on Twitch. Follow me, follow Rants, follow the gang. I've already offered my thoughts on AUBAMEYANG. You know, if you've gone partying and you've got COVID, then it's idiotic, it's stupid. It shows why he's not captain again. Like, what more is there to say in it? Like, and ultimately for the people that mile, because even at Arsenal, there was people who thought maybe Arteta went OTT and things like that. You've given fuel to the fire, because ultimately it comes down to trust. You know, you're still in the headlines for the wrong reasons, and it just proves Arteta right, really. When you go on the stream, you need to grill your night. You know me, I don't really do the grilling thing, man. I'm just here, man. I'm just there, my guy. Just happy to be here. But yeah, man. On that though, I do need to go and head over to Rance's thing. So yeah, we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes, 90-minute game. It's been fantastic. We've spoken about AUBAMEYANG's COVID thing. We've spoken about the transfer stuff. This is probably my favorite part, is when we're not talking about the typical headlines. We're just speaking in general. Like I said, you lot make this platform what it is. I would not shout out to everyone who was on my Twitch stream at 10 a.m. Make sure you're there for Football Manager at 4:30, and appreciate everyone who's here. You lot make the platform. That's why I'm here day in, day out, week in, week out. And again, I'm not watching no other content creators and things like that. And I mean, no malice, but sometimes their subscribers say a lot about them is fucking stupid. And I feel with you lot, we have a joke and a laugh and we disagree a lot, but there's a lot of intellectual chat. There's a lot of thought through comments. As I always say, I don't like when people push my opinions on. I don't like when people push their opinions on me. I don't do the same to you lot. I don't tell you lot what to think, just to think. And it's always a leaving with something, really. You know, even Pablo Marie, you lot are making me think, am I being harsh on Marie? No, I'm lying, man. The devil on my shoulder saying, nah, he's shit. But Jay's converting me, man, with this. You see why I got to leave now? I'm even smiling. How am I capping? I don't do the grilling thing, man, unless people get onto me, man. But you lot stay blessed, man. Last question. Do you think Aubameyang will get the Ozil treatment or do you think he'll go in Jan? It's looking like the Ozil thing, innit? Unless his agent can pull a blinder. Where are you going? Inconsistent form, big wages, and now man can't trust you to just behave yourself. Is it worth it? It's all a headache. The one thing you'd probably put up with that headache if he's scoring, but it's a myth. Absolute myth. I don't know if I'm the best on YouTube, man, but I appreciate that praise, man. One day we'll work towards that, man. But you lot stay blessed, stay safe, have a good day, whatever's left. Check out the other bits of content. You know, like someone said, I'm live at the same time. You know, if you was here yesterday, then fair enough. But we spoke about should Arteta get a new deal. I'll drop the link in there. As you lot know, I'll put the timestamps in the description for you lot in literally just a moment. And you know what? I'll leave them here. I'm on Twitch at 4:30, and then we're back here tomorrow at 11:30. And again, we'll probably do between Saturday and Friday. We need to preview the FA Cup. But honestly, I don't know if it's happening, do I? So my DG watch time on YouTube is mad. I appreciate that. Without you lot, it'd be dead, man. And like Rochelle said, people switch to Twitch and show your support. Again, journey to 10K. Rochelle, come on, man. If only people were like you lot. I appreciate everyone. Again, did I do it properly? The Lacazette thing? Appreciate you lot. You know, Odegaard's been a baller this season, but I'm going to love and leave you lot, man. You lot stay blessed, stay safe, achieve whatever goals you have to achieve. I'll catch you lot in a mo.
There's always that active and defending. I think it's like